Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Zelda 2 Adventure of Link Randomizer Race MaxRando Tournament. Today we've got TheCowness versus ShinerCCC. Considering the kind of races we've had so far the last 24 hours, I can only expect the madness to continue. My name is The Shades, and joining me is my co-commentator, DM Stuart 1981. Stuart, how are we doing?
Doing great. How about you, Shades?
Looking forward to madness, my friend. Again, if you were not here for the race I commentated last night, oh good God. Trails and Thurwolf went through torture last night. And if we get anything like that again tonight, it's going to be madness. So I can only imagine what we're going to be seeing here this afternoon.
Oh, the race that we just had was also torture. 1 heart starting seed.
That was ours. 1 heart, 2 lives, no spells.
No, I wasn't in for the beginning, so I didn't see what they started with, but it was a 1 heart, and by the end of the game, they only had 2.
That's still better. They never got a single heart container through the entire race. They went into Grand Palace with only 1 heart container.
Oh, my.
Yeah. That is the madness that we could be facing here this afternoon as we get where you're just about ready to get this race underway. Of course, shout out to Countess for his titles, his names there. Countess likes cows. Gee, I didn't know.
It's not just a clever name, then.
Yes, it actually means something. Go figure.
And, of course, Shiner's beef jerky.
Hey, nothing wrong with some beef jerky. I'll take some of that.
So, how many hearts do you think they're going to start off with in this one?
Hopefully more than 1. Hopefully more than 1 after what I've seen. All right, so it looks like we'll be getting the signal here very soon. I'm seeing
the 1 heart from last night wouldn't have been so bad if not for the red Dyra swamp encounters right outside of Northern Palace.
I agree with that. And ladies and gentlemen, we're getting the signal. So, people of Hyrule, I have a question for you at this time. Are you ready for some rando?
I sure am.
Let's see some hype in chat, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to get this race underway.
Countess versus ShinerCCC.
And here we go. I'm gonna let it sync up. There we go. Now we can get this race started. Ooh, 5 heart containers to start things off. This is certainly much better. Fairy and shield right out the gate.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't notice what they had for items, though.
Just the raft.
And 5 gems required to place.
5 gems, but here's the kicker.
Only
1 life.
Only 1 life.
Oh. This is going to be interesting. Still, with 5 heart containers, that's going to be pretty helpful. And we've already got our first free spell here right off the gate. Let's see what spell we pick up here. Don't send me back to the home. We get jump.
Let's play some Van Halen.
Might as well jump.
And real Van Halen.
So already that's a really good start here with this kind of setup. Again, just the 5 heart containers alone is going to make things really easy.
Oh, Moa.
Oh.
Moas and red Dyras.
Not a fun combination. And takes an immediate death there.
Now, what is randomized in this?
I think the better question is
everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the better question is what isn't randomized?
What isn't randomized? The rooms that are in each dungeon. We've got a flute from the grass grass encounter.
Good find there for Shiner. And of course, OPT lawyer, my co-commentator from last night, commenting, "Why is there so many red bars up there? Something's wrong with this." TheCowness getting his first level up, going to increase his attack there.
Now the thing is, what's the thing that gets one of the other things that is randomized is the terrain, because the terrain you see, the terrain you actually run into the encounter on, is not necessarily the terrain for the encounter.
Yeah, you could be on the graveyard and end up getting swamped, a swamp encounter. So, as I said, everything is randomized.
And what's in that forest tile? There's just a forest tile.
Yeah,
We've got our first dungeon coming up.
Yeah, as I say, we got our first palace sighting, but he's going to avoid that for now. He's not going there yet. He's going to keep town.
Cowness finds his flute.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes into play.
Well, let's be fair. Let's be fair. The randomizer is not going to expect you to go into a palace without any key or fairy or the ability to get through doors.
Mm-hmm.
Although with them having the fairy spell.
Yeah, having the fairy spell and shield right out the gate, that is a really good combination. Going to help them get through a lot of areas very quickly. Going to be able to avoid a lot of combat with the fairy spell. And if they have to get into a combat, they've got some extra protection there, which early on is going to be very helpful.
And they have actual...
So it's not a bad setup.
They have actual damage they can take?
Yeah, they can afford to take a few hits. Which, again, if you saw last night's race, you know that is very important to have. And speaking of last night's race, one of our runners trails in the chat.
And I did not happen to... I was not able to pick up what town that was that Cowness found there.
No. We've got one of our caves here. Now, some of these are P-bag caves. I don't know each cave from each one, so forgive me, but we know that...
looks like Jump... I think that looks like Jump Cave that Shiner is in.
I think
they
Cowness
started
is in the same cave.
To answer Trails, they started with Raft, they started with Fairy Spell. And the Life Spell? No, Shield Spell.
They started with Fairy and Shield, and then they gained Jump in their first town.
Now, if you notice, they're in the dark, but you can still see the orange spear-wielding enemy. That's because the orange palette is always on in these caves. I believe this is Jump Cave. Yes, it is Jump Cave. And it's 5 gems.
Yep, 5 gems starting off here. And we're going to see our first palace here. Oh, we found Great Palace already.
Oh, my.
Great Palace, not that far from start.
That could be interesting.
Indeed. I'm just finding only a 50-point P-bag there in that desert tile. Not what he was hoping
finding
for.
Just a red jar.
Yeah. Oh, we got another level up, and Shiner going to increase his life, which will allow him to take a little extra damage there. Now, because we've got 5 heart containers starting out, we're going to be seeing a lot of P-bags in this race. But
that
we can
is Medicine Cave, I think?
I think so. They're definitely going to be looking out for that. They want to get... They're going to get at max 3 heart containers in this seed, and that's only if they actually exist. Any item, any heart containers or magic containers could be replaced with P-bags. And some items could even be replaced. And indeed, we got a P-bag there. 500-point P-bag for Cowness.
There are 3 500-point... There are 3 500-point P-bags.
Found the candle. Shiner finding the candle in the medicine cave. That is going to be a big help for future cave dwellings. As you can see here, it now lights up this cave.
See, I'm not good enough yet to do all these, to do these without the candle. even though I've been trying to work on 100% all keys. And Countess finds the water town of Saria, which will give us another free spell.
Yep, all you have to do is grab the mirror from this house here, go back over and return it to the lady there in that purple dress, and she will invite you in to claim another spell.
Shiner finds Death Mountain.
Oh, dear. Oh, I did not see what spell Countess just picked up. Let me double check the restream, because he was very quick on that one. Life.
Life.
He has the life spell. So right now,
we already know that
Sorry,
one of the heart containers is going to be replaced with a 500-point P bag.
Yep. So right now, basically, our runners are mainly looking for items because they need. You're probably going to need You're going to likely need the power glove. You're going to probably want the hammer just in case. Boots would be very helpful, and of course, the any key wouldn't be a bad find, though not necessary. Very useful.
I'm not sure why he didn't go and get the note from Bagoo. Why Countess didn't? Because that can give him his second way out from Saria.
Who knows? And Countess once again has now found his way to Death Mountain. Shiner now finding the P bag there, 500 XP. Gives him a couple levels up there.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever pass up P bags in this.
At least definitely, especially if they're the 500 variety. Those are always nice to find.
Countess heading into Medicine Cave, gonna pick up his candle.
I'll be happy to find that here pretty soon. Shiner getting a free blue bottle drop, get his magic back up. But again, the race is on for items and possibly a couple spells. As Trails mentioned in the chat, Reflect would be really nice.
Yes, Reflect would be very nice. Fire would be very nice because Fire, as we know, gives you another spell.
Yep, Fire will not only can activate its normal effect, which is pretty useless, but will activate one random other spell. And if you can get a cheap version of something like Thunder or Life, that would be really helpful.
First seed I commentated in this. Fire Thunder.
Oh.
Shiner is exploring Death Mountain, looking for, probably looking for Hammer Cave.
Yep, if you can find that, we might, and it has there, that item could be helpful, whatever it is. If it is the hammer, definitely helpful. And again, he could just be wasting his time looking for a P bag.
Well, that's probably more likely.
All right, Shiner now looks like he's got his shield spell, and he's gonna need it. He's got moblins and all sorts of enemies just swarming him there.
Moblins, red Dyra, orange Dyra. And bubbles and rocks, and he's just gonna ferry himself right out of there.
Can't entirely blame him.
And TheCowness is in the seaside town, which means he's going to get his down stab.
Oh, yeah, because he's got both jump and fairy, so he can easily get in there once he gets his magic up. Clever trick there, using the spell and then activating his magic to get up there. So now he's going to have the down stab, one of the best offensive attacks in the game. You can just jump through enemies very quickly.
Wait, Shades. One of the best? You mean the best attack in the game?
Fair enough. Okay there, Scrooge McDuck. Or Shovel Knight if you prefer. Take your pick.
Yeah, let's get shoveling. Shiner finds his way into the seaside town of Meadow.
As someone who played a lot of Ocarina of Time and knows those characters very well, it always throws me off that they were named after the towns in this game. So I hear these town names, like I expect that, you know, we're in Meadow Town. I expect a small little elf to pop up out of nowhere.
I don't know. Never got into Ocarina of Time.
Now
Just
Shiner
never played it.
Yeah, to each his own. Shiner not picking up his down stab. He's got his pogo stick.
Okay, I don't remember which palaces have the. I don't remember which palaces are which as far as telling the names from the. Or telling which palace from the capitals. I know that's how you tell them, but I don't remember which ones are which. Okay, according to our developer in the chat, that palace was Palace 4.
I had a feeling that was 4.
The heads.
I had a feeling that was 4. Thank you to Dig Shake. Shiner now up to level 4 life. Means he's gonna have some really good defense, especially with those 5 heart containers. They're gonna be able to take a lot of hits here. Again, Trails in the chat is probably wishing he had this seed right now after what he went through last night. As TheCowness has found one of the other dungeons here. I think this is either 5 or...
That is, I think, 2 or 5.
I think that would be 5. Oh, no, Alan Heffley's saying 2.
Oh, no, it's 2 because 5 doesn't have a... 5 doesn't get a red jar at the front.
Ah, fair enough. Shiner now finding 4.
Because in the vanilla game you're expected to go directly to 5 from 4, so there was no need for a jar. And Shiner gets his note from Bagoo. TheCowness in that looks like Trophy Cave.
Ah. Also for Power Glove.
I love the Power Glove.
It is so bad. As I was saying, a little factoid about Bagoo is that that's actually a mistranslation for the American release. You know, a lot of people think that I am error. That was a mistranslation. No, that was correct. It was supposed to be error and bug, and they just forgot to change Bagoo to bug.
Huh. And Shiner saves a life with a quick cast of fairy.
Nicely done. So TheCowness doing really good here as he's now back in 2. Is he going to explore this? Looks like he might. Yeah, we're going to be seeing our first palace run.
Yes, first jump into a palace with Helmet Head as the boss. Helmet Head always seemed like a pretty easy boss to me.
Yeah.
Whoa! Blue Iron Knuckles as the drop enemies.
Ooh. That's not fun, but 300 XP, that's certainly not, and then there's a lot of them. Oh man, that's not a good sign for our runners here.
Can you say grind spot?
Looks like that's what TheCowness is doing. I think Shiner's in 4, I think? He's not in 2, that's for sure. And he's got to use his fairy spell since there's a locked door.
I think it is 4. But he uses his fairy spell and then gets a magic level. I think we could. I think we could watch. I think we could let TheCowness do his thing for a little while he grinds.
Yeah, I mean, again, 300 points per kill. You're gonna level up real fast when that. You're already up to attack level 4. We're only 15 minutes in, and look how strong our runners are.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes in, and TheCowness is at 445.
And to be fair, Shiner's not far behind with 334, so that's a really good, setup for these runners here. XP is very generous to see.
Yes. Well, 300-point dripper enemies will do that.
Now look at this. 3 blue iron knuckles right next to each other. That is insane.
Now, if you can figure out how to yak hammer that... Now, enemy hit points are also somewhat randomized. They're, I think, plus or minus a couple. TheCowness is at 555. Shiner gets the item in this Palace 2, and it's just a pea bag.
And it's going to be pretty sad. He's grinding for levels here in level 2, where TheCowness has already found the perfect grind spot, just racking up the levels here. Already up to 556.
Well, Shiner's found his grind spot as well.
True, but when he gets to 4 here, or when he gets to this, I believe this is 4 that TheCowness is at, and realizes, oh, this could have been much better.
No, they're both in 2. They're both in 2.
Oh. Then how do they have different enemy drops? Oh, I see. Okay, TheCowness went a little further in.
Yes.
So Shiner, when he realizes that, he's going to realize, oh, I had a perfect grind spot and I missed it. Dang it.
Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
I think TheCowness is satisfied at 556.
I think that's a pretty solid setup there. I mean, this early on, I'd go for that. It looks like the grinding is done, and so now it's time to actually explore this dungeon here and head their way over to Helmet Head.
I believe you are correct. TheCowness is the only one with the glove. At least if our tracker is right. By the way, a big shout out to our tracker. Our tracker is the Alan Heffley. Also, a big shout out to our restreamer.
Yep, your restreamer Yanni Man, very good friend of mine. Good.
Or a couple more magic containers.
Either one would be nice. We got a pea bag waiting for us there. Good to a solid 200.
And see the example of the jackhammer strategy on the fish head.
All right, so both of our owners searching through here. Again, we're probably going to be looking for the item just to see what it is. And we might have found it. It's the heart. Oh, we got a heart container.
Oh, wow. 6 heart container seed.
Dang. Yeah, this is a very healthy seed, to say the least.
Apparently our commentary went off for a little while.
Oh, apologies for that, folks. Thankfully, you didn't miss anything too exciting from us. We've been relatively tame so far. The hype is yet to come.
Still getting those blue iron knuckle dripper enemies.
Oh yeah, big find there for TheCowness.
Well, I was referring to Shiner, because Shiner's got a dripper where he is.
Ah, looks like he's going to take advantage of that and get some levels up.
$1470 and $1480 for his next magic and life levels. So yes, the level up bonus, or the level up effectiveness is randomized. The level up experience amounts are randomized. The rooms appear in the same dungeon, but they are in a random place. However, the boss room will always be enter from the left, and the item room you'll always enter from the same side that you enter in that dungeon.
It looks like TheCowness is going to take an intentional death here to get his magic back up, because he got blocked by a door. He has no keys, and he does not have enough magic to ferry through. Let's just hope that's enough, because he can't afford... Oh, hidden wall.
Yes, there is that hidden wall in Palace 5.
Been a while since I've seen this dungeon, so I forgot about that. That's a good thing for him, because that means he's on the right track here. Hopefully this will lead him right to the boss. Gotta take on Gooma here in this dungeon. Oh,
giant...
He realized he...
That's a dead end to a pea bag.
Yep, TheCowness up in A to reset his lives, get himself back up. He's gonna try a different route. Oh, and there's a key up there just to taunt him.
Well, he's got the jump spell. He could get up there.
Yeah, I think he just realized, wait, I can get that. I might want that. Oh!
He does find his way to Gooma.
But Shiner is not going that way, because he wants to make sure he finds the item first, so he doesn't have to go double dip. There we go. TheCowness now taking on Gooma. Now, the only downside is that because of the spikes on Gooma's head, you cannot downstab him. You have to hit him. Oh! Takes a death.
Gooma is not an easy fight.
No. Like I said, you can't downstab him because of the spikes on his head preventing that. So you have to hit him face first, and that ball and chain is nothing to laugh at.
Even at 7 life, it does a full bar of damage.
Yeah, you gotta play your strategies here carefully here. Yeah, he's gonna get his life spell. Probably a good idea. Keep your health up. There we go! And just as he finishes up, Shiner now heading in to face him. TheCowness will now finish his second stage here, finishing up Palace 5. So now we've got 3 more palaces to go.
Shiner takes a death.
Ouch. Oh, and there's another palace right by them. I think this is, what, Palace 1, maybe?
I believe it is, yes. Same capitals as Palace 4. 1 and 4 have the same capitals. 2 and 5 have the same capitals. 3 and 6 have the same capitals. Shiner finishing off Guma.
Yep, he'll be right behind him, probably going into Palace 1. 2 P-Bags right next to it there, but he's got more than enough XP right now. He's just going to let it play.
TheCowness making his way exploring Palace 1.
Shiner going to stop by the nearby cave first to see if there's an item in there first before heading into Palace 1.
And we have a River Devil sighting.
Oh dear.
This is... I think this is a pass-through cave.
Ah.
No,
Nope,
this is one of the teabag caves.
It's a good thing TheCowness picked up that key on the bridge, because there was a locked door waiting for him by the end. Got an orange iron knuckle there, takes him out pretty quick. Shiner now making his way back through the cave to get out and head to Palace 1.
Well, you know, it was worth checking that cave.
Alright, TheCowness now going to check out the other side here. See if he can find that item, and Shiner now makes his way into Palace 1.
Sorry about the mistake there, folks. It looked like the cave that you go through going from Firetown up to Maze Island.
Now TheCowness prepping himself up as he is on to Horsehead. And with that high damage, super quick fight there for TheCowness.
Well, yeah. Just a real quick jackhammer on Horsehead. And crystal number 3.
Yeah, a bit over halfway through this race so far. But he's going to go back in because there's still an item hiding in here somewhere, and he wants to find it. But he is going to get himself up to Magic 7. So 5, 7, 7. I think Chad was right. We could be seeing like a 6, 7, 8 setup at minimum here, if not higher.
We could be seeing 8, 8, 7, or 7, 8, 8.
Good lord. So for TheCowness, the only objective here is to find the item, and I think he might be getting close.
Well, you're always going to check left first when you're looking for the items. Or at least in Palace 1, in any palace where the item is a left, and that
it's just
looks
a
like the item room.
Yeah, that was the item room, but it was just a P-bag.
TheCowness going in to check the item cave that, as I recall, was just a P-bag.
Sadly, that is true. And Shiner also now on Horsehead, but again, 2 quick hits, not a very hard fight at all. Nicely done. So Shiner now finishing up here in Palace 1. He's going to head back in and search for that item, which unfortunately for him is going to be just a pea bag, but you got to check.
Okay, that's a glitch I'm not familiar with. TheCowness finds Mountain Town. He can pick up his up stab here if he likes.
Not as useful as its downward variety, but still not a bad move to have nonetheless. He's going to refill his magic here real quick. Yeah, Mountain Town of Darunia. Looks like he's yep, there he goes. Got the jump spell in, and he is in. So he is getting his up stab.
Shiner heading into that town himself. TheCowness, without having the kid, cannot actually pick up the spell from this town.
Yeah, we still gotta find the kid somewhere hanging around here, but I'm sure we'll find it eventually. And Shiner finding the cross.
Helps with finding invisible enemies.
Yep, and TheCowness gonna be picking that up as well once he gets through this, speaking of invisible enemies.
Yeah, I never liked the invisible enemies.
No one ever does.
Shiner gonna go through the River Devil. Let's see if there was anything useful on the other side.
Right away, we see a desert tile here.
And, you know, with River Devil being there, I'm gonna plug Rate My River Devil.
Yeah, I just learned about this last night. There's actually a Twitter account where you can send in pictures of a River Devil from a randomizer run, and he'll tell you how good of a River Devil it actually is. Shiner having some troubles there with those Lizalfos. He's gonna jump over here, and just
Find
a pea bag.
It's a 500 pea bag. Meanwhile, TheCowness doing a Valley of Death encounter.
Yep. Oh, right into the lava.
Unable to avoid the liquid hot magma. Shiner finds another town over there. Let's see what town it is.
There first, it looks like.
It is New Kasuto.
Ooh, this could be helpful. Unfortunately, I think you need the spell for it to do to do much. We do not have that yet.
We don't have the spell, and we don't have enough magic containers to, We don't have enough magic containers to get the special item.
I think you need at least a minimum of 5 to pick that up. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, no, you can't get a spell here.
He got the fire spell.
Oh, we can finally learn what that connects with. Though I think we've already learned, because I believe this fire spell also mixes with whatever spell it matches with. So if you cast the spell that it matches with, that also casts fire. And I think we've already seen that with the shield spell.
Okay, it is 6 heart magic containers rather to get the item. Wait. If it is if that is where it is, was that? No, that was already that was all the way at the top. No. Oh, no. If it matches with where it is, that would be the spell, and he could, and they could get the item in the back. They could get the item at the back of town.
Oh, Shiner's gonna test that. Nope, it is not the spell. It was the
jump.
shield spell. Oh, is it? Oh,
It's
yeah.
jump. Shiner has the Shiner has red.
Oh, that's right.
Red tunic on anyway.
That's what's throwing me off. But yeah, it's the jump spell, because I know I've seen the fire spell in play earlier. I just wasn't sure if it was shield or jump.
It wasn't in play earlier. It couldn't have been. They just got it from New Kasuto.
No, what I'm saying is that when you use the spell that fire is crossed with, then fire will still activate.
Oh.
And I saw them using using the fire or having the fire spell ability with another spell. So it must have been so when they were using the jump spell earlier, they were getting the fire spell with it.
Okay. I misunderstood what you were saying.
And we got Das Boot!
Das Boots!
What are those? That means now any inbounds water tiles can be walked across. That's going to be very helpful for exploration, as you can see on Countess's end.
Okay, I don't understand the glitch with casting Fairy to skip one of those fixed encounter tiles.
That one's a new one to me. We got a palace.
That was Palace 4. So with no reflect spell, he's not going to go in.
Can't blame him there, but he's just going to go back to the east side and use those new boots to traverse the area. Oh, we got all the Zalfo stuck on the ground. And again.
Okay, this one that Shiner is in. Okay, our Valley of Death Palace is either 3 or 6.
If he's going through it, it must be 3, because you don't want to do 6 if you can help it.
Especially not if you don't have the any key.
Exactly. Yeah, and Trail's confirming it's 3. So
yes.
Good call for Countess. Now they're going to be going in here and taking on
Rebenak.
I always thought it was Rubenok based on the song I've heard. Any fans of the Adventures of Dwayne and Brandon know what I'm talking about. Oh!
Ooh. Bad fall for Countess.
Countess not having luck there.
Chet points out you would do 6 regardless due to not having Reflect for 4. It would be tough to do that without... It would be tough to do that with keys. With keys and having to cast Fairy so many times.
Yeah, they don't have enough magic to be pulling that off. Well, at least he's got a couple keys. At least they got a couple keys for if they want have to go back and search more.
Right, and Shiner is going through. Shiner's going. That's Jump Cave.
Yep. I saw that earlier. There's another key. Oh, wrong direction there. And suddenly wizard.
Suddenly Seymour.
Ah. And try to avoid using that jump spell, just save that magic. Gonna pick up these other keys along the way. It looks like he might. Yeah. Countess gonna pick up these keys. So let's see.
And Trails points out in chat, there's a reason they give you the any key before Palace 6, and it's because he is correct that there are no keys in Palace 6.
Shiner now back in 4. I don't know what they're thinking. They don't have the reflect spell. Look at all those enemies. My God. The lag.
Oh, in the previous race, you had some incredible lag on Dig Shake's side. When he was in one of the waffle rooms in Great Palace with all of the bird knights. Countess fighting Rebenak.
Yep, pretty decent so far. There we go. Nice quick fight. Shiner gave up on Palace 4. Found not much. Didn't only find a key, but nonetheless, that is now 4 dungeons for Countess. So they got to decide whether to look for Palace 6 or find that reflect spell to start Palace 4.
So we have not found Maze Island yet. And so Palace 6 is either going to be Maze Island. So Palace on Maze Island is either going to be 6, or it's going to be it's not Great Palace. We know where Great Palace is. Maze Island is going to be Palace 6.
Yeah, it has to be.
Shiner heads through the River Devil.
Ooh, magic container for Countess. That is going to be helpful.
One more of those, and you can get the item out of New Kasuto.
Ooh, I think we just found Maze Island.
We did just find Maze Island. We also found a town, which is Old Kasuto.
Old Kasuto, yep. Big bucks, no whammies. And we found the spell.
Well, that will let Countess get the other item in one of the other 2 items in New Kasuto.
And we have found Palace 6. And it looks like Countess is going to run it instead of going for 4, so this is going to be tricky, given that we're going to have to rely a lot on the fairy spell here. I mean, they got a couple keys out of the last palace that'll help, but Without the any key, this will be tricky.
They won't. You can't use, as I recall, you cannot use keys from one palace and another palace.
Then how did he unlock that door? Because he hasn't found any keys.
Oh, that may be a change.
Yeah, and Alan Heffley confirming it. Yes, you can. Clever use of the spell there to turn the enemies into much weaker enemies to deal with.
I wouldn't necessarily call them easier to deal with, given that they're bots.
Compared to what they were, at least.
Yes, follow all of these races on the all of this tournament on the Randomizer Mania channels.
Looks like Shiner's about to pick up his boots. Das Boot.
And TheCowness just needs one more magic container and can get all the rest of the stuff out of New Kasuto.
Yeah, though at this point, the only thing they really need, since they're not going to be doing 4, all they need is at most the Thunder Spell, just in case Thunderbird is required. It looks like TheCowness has officially run out of keys, so it's going to be fairy spells from here on out.
Well, it could be worse.
Oh, and I think he just wasted it. He used a life spell when he meant to use fairy. He's going to have to take an intentional death here.
And at life 7 with 6 magic containers, that could take a while.
Yeah, but he found a magic container. He found a magic refill, so that helps a little bit. Oh, and I think we found... Nope, not yet. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're up to Barba. Oh, no, what? Rubinak.
Nope, that's a Rebo. You get a Rebenak fight. There are 2, I think, Rebenak fights in Palace 6.
Ah.
And Shiner picks up a magic container. That was the same one that TheCowness picked up.
Speaking of TheCowness on Rebenak Part 2. Just be a little careful there. Almost ran out of life. Had to use the last life spell. And we've got... Wow! The any key is in 6! That is cruel! That is cruel! Wow!
Nice!
That is evil! To put the any key in the dungeon you need it most.
That is some troll there.
That is some epic trollage.
TheCowness manages to fall on top of the roof.
Yep. Falling their way down, seeing if this will lead them to Barbara.
There were 5 gems. If Countess finds Barba, that will be all.
That will be number 5.
That'll be all, and he can go into Great Palace.
He's got to be getting close to Barbara at this point.
You might think that. I couldn't possibly comment.
Oh, tried to ferry, but was already too far gone.
Shiner is in Palace 3.
Oh, gotta be careful there. Oh, clever setup there. Takes an intentional death. Right at the turns around to take the intentional death, so they can just go right back to where they were going. Nice setup there. Gets the jump spell. Now it's finally getting through. Only to come across a apparent dead end. Ooh! Just barely got into that spot. Nicely done.
Maybe that takes him into Barba.
Yeah, we are there. It is time for Barba.
I'm slightly disappointed at the lack of Yakhammer strats.
There we go. Now we're starting to see some damage. Almost there.
Stay on target.
And he's down. And with that, Countess has finished up the last of the 5 gems they need. They are ready for the Great Palace. Now, here comes the big question. Do they go straight to the Great Palace, or do they hunt for the Thunder Spell? Because they do not have that yet, and there is still that chance that Thunderbird could be required. Also, 777, Countess has jackpot.
Or a giant airplane.
No, that's 747.
Oh, they make 777 as well.
Eh.
Shiner into the fight with Rebanak. Nice jackhammer.
Nicely done. Very quick kill there for Shiner. And that gets them dungeon number 4. And it looks like Countess is heading straight for the Great Palace.
And I don't think that's a bad idea.
It's a gamble.
It's a gamble, to be sure. But if you need thunder, you can always come back out.
That's true. Let's see how torturous this Great Palace is.
Waffle room.
Yep, with a giant bubble to boot.
Well, we'll put it this way. If this gamble works out, he's won himself the race.
Yep. And he's got a pretty solid lead right now. I mean, Shiner does not know where Palace 6 is, does not know where the Reflect spell is. It's going to be a while for Shiner to catch up. So, truth be told, Countess has got a good setup.
To be fair, Shiner does know where Palace 6 is. He knows it's on Maze Island.
He just doesn't know where Maze Island is.
True. And takes out that fried chicken.
And Shiner now picking up the heart container in 3, so now they're even on health here. They're pretty even overall in terms of containers, though obviously Countess has a few more levels here in terms of magic and attack.
I am slightly disappointed that we have not had a we've not had one of the fetch quest items yet.
Yeah, kind of sad. This has been a pretty straightforward run so far for both our runners.
And Countess goes through the Eon jump room.
Want to find a dead end, so they're going to go back. Are they going to take that center hole? Yes, they are. And Trails in the chat. He's like, this has been too straightforward. We need Thunderbird.
Meanwhile, Shiner going through the long way on the stair-step rooms with the flying heads.
Yeah, got an interesting play there.
Meanwhile, Countess is just continuing to explore GP.
Hoping to find their way to that final fight with Dark Link. Hoping to avoid Thunderbird if they can help it. Of course, the Great Palace is a very large palace. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of different misdirection here.
Shiner finds Maze Island, also finds Old Kasuto.
Countess has to be careful, running a little low on health and magic here. Oh, takes a death to that Faka.
Takes a death to that fried chicken.
It's a magic refill. Good use of that. Oh, and we got a boss bot. Uh-oh, I know what that room is.
That room is Thunderbird.
Yeah, it's Thunderbird. He's gonna look for another way. He wants to avoid that if he can help it.
Shiner going around looking for the, looking on Maze Island for the, item room.
I think we're getting close here. Oh, Countess has found it! Thunderbird not required. Countess is on the final fight with Dark Link. He's taking him straight on. He's not using the ducking strat. But he's taking him in the back, and down he goes! Ladies and gentlemen, the Countess is finishing first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 26 seconds.
Very nicely done, Countess. The item on Maze Island. Halt, for the hour of the hammer is upon us.
What a race. It was neck and neck for a good chunk of that, but Countess slowly but surely pushing further and further ahead until they finally overcame the odds with a full Palace lead. As Shiner just now working their way into Palace 6.
Yes. Shiner is in Palace 6. Countess is
Countess
through.
will be joining us here shortly. Yeah, unfortunately, Shiner wasted a lot of time doing some superfluous stuff, resetting before picking up the boots, as Tulane points out, and of course, taking way too long picking up keys in Palace 3. Not a fun day.
GG to you, Countess.
Countess now joining us here in the channel. Once they get their mic situation set up, we will be saying hi, but nonetheless, GG to Countess for a great race. Countess, glad to have you here. Congratulations on your win.
Hey, yeah. I did set up my push to talk, but yeah, that seed felt like it went really fast.
It did. I mean, starting out with 5 heart containers certainly helped. I mean, that was a incredible bit of luck.
Yeah, seeing the start with 2 lives, I was a little worried, but then having that many heart containers really helped. And then getting all those drippers in P2, that really, really helped. I grinded like 6 levels in there.
Trust me, we were watching. That was awesome.
That was crazy.
At 300-point knuckles are like debatably the best thing you could get out of a dripper, because even the Magos, they can be worth 500, but they can be hard to kill sometimes. They only give you a little short window to hit them, and then they teleport somewhere else.
Yeah.
And all the levels seem to be pretty cheap too at that point of the game, because like I grinded for like a 2100 point level, I think that was like attack 6, and then everything was pretty easy from there. I'm not used to having that much attack.
Certainly made a lot of those bosses later on easy. Like, you know, Horsehead alone, both of you grinded levels pretty well and killed him very quickly.
Meanwhile, Shiner going through the back-to-back Revenak in 6.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to fight the second one or not, but I didn't want to have just wasted my time on the first one. then
Yeah,
just
you
as an insult, it's kind of the magic key after all that work I put into finding a magic jar so that I could cast fairy 3 times.
That's what we were saying too. Speaking of which, Shiner just got their any key. But yeah, it's like the one dungeon you need the any key the most is the dungeon where it's hiding at. That was just cruel.
Yeah, there's no keys in there at all besides the Ribbon Axe and the boss. So I was hoping I could either find the Reflect spell and do 4 instead, or get another magic jar so I could cast fairy more times. Because you can't, like, with 2 lives, you don't get too many fairy casts.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of like stuff you found, the only thing that Shiner got that you didn't, they found the hammer over on Naze Island, but obviously that was really irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, I saw there were 2 caves blocked by the hammer in the West Continent, but if I found the hammer after finding the glove, I don't know if I'd have gone back to check them. Pretty much when I found the hammer, the glove, my focus shifted to palaces, and then right when I hit the East Continent, I found 2 of the palaces right there.
Yeah, and then of course, Great Palace didn't have to worry about Thunderbird, though. For a brief moment, you had to have wondered were you going to have to fight Thunderbird because you found it first.
Yeah, and there weren't too many forks that I'd found at that point. That Great Palace started out with like 12 rooms in a row before you found the first fork, which I think was the fairy room. You went through 3 drops before that point. Oh, and this loop that Shiner's in now, that was really annoying for me because I failed that jump across that gap twice and then just found out it led to the same place I was already in.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was like, oh, thanks for twisting the knife, game.
Well, it's MaxRando. What do you expect? Of course it's going to twist the knife.
Still, 108. That's a really good time. That is something to speak of there.
Yeah, for a 5 gem seed, that was a pretty good time for me. Like, I think I've had a faster MaxRando that started with way fewer gems, but not 5 gems. And I think a lot of that's just like how many things I was able to skip. Like, I didn't really look for items unless they were pretty quick to get. A couple of things I kind of regretted getting, like the Palace 1 item, but I was kind of hoping it'd be a magic jar.
And Yanni Man in the chat, you started with 5 hearts and expecting a nice seed. Hey, I have a benchmark based on my first commentary from last night. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the race I calmed with Trails and Thurwolf last night, but 1 heart container, 2 lives, no spells, and they didn't find a single heart container the entire race.
That's just nasty.
Yeah. So that's my benchmark for trolliness from now on.
It's seeds like that that make me not want to play MaxRando.
I don't blame you, man. Or Shiner not going for the ledge grab, gonna go ahead and do the fairy trick to get into that gap. That was another cool trick that you pulled off earlier. You actually managed the ledge grab there to get to Barba.
That was a complete accident. I was going into the menu to cast fairy and noticed I'd already landed on it. I've never done that before. I'm not actually sure if that's something you can try for in, like, Randomizer, because I don't know if your position changes a little bit based on the room that's above it. It's something someone else would have to answer, though.
As Shiner doing the jackhammer strats on Barba.
Yeah, but almost cost himself. Took way too much damage early on, but thankfully he got through, so he is now done with the main palaces. He's on to GP. Gets 1 more magic up for his troubles. Now he's on jackpot.
And he's going to get 778. Because he's going to pick up another level from this crystal. So, Countess, what are your thoughts? Any other thoughts about this seed?
I think that I don't know, a couple of things were kind of annoying, but I think just because of that experience grind alone, I think it wasn't too bad of a seed. I think it could have been a lot worse, because like I had life 7 and I was just like flying through enemies tanking them because I didn't really care how much damage I was taking. And after playing like a couple of other seeds where you get like less life and worse starts, it's a lot nicer to get this kind of a higher level seed, because you can just like use your same strats you've been using on the lighter or seeds, and then just like tank through stuff if you want to. I didn't really have to fight anything in this seed.
Alright, what is Shiner doing? Is he heading to GP or is he looking for something?
I think he may be looking for Thunder.
He's gonna realize he doesn't need it. And it's gonna cost. He's wasting more time than he's already lost.
Although he just found Firetown and did not take the item or the spell.
You started with the item from there, the spell from there. I forget which one it is, but I believe Thunder is in either Darunia or one of the other item towns. I think Mido. I think those were the 2 spells I didn't have. Or maybe he's getting the new Katsudo item. He's got 6 containers.
He's going to get the new Katsudo item, and he's going to get the both of the new Katsudo items.
I actually did not realize that I could have gotten the item out of the back, or I probably would have.
Well, you didn't have the spell.
Oh, that wasn't the spell from here? Okay. Oh yeah, that was the new Katsudo.
No, it's just the trophy anyway.
Well, to as far as something chat brings up, I agree. I am just as curious as what's here. And it's the kid. So, even though Countess didn't have it, I will say this for Shiner. Do you want to have a fetch quest? Yes, we may have some turkey on the plate, even though it's not necessary. Shiner heading back through to I'm not sure why Shiner doesn't just up A and go and do Great Palace, but I guess he's going to get the item from the kid.
Yeah. I guess he figures if he's seen the SRL, he probably knows he's already lost, and he's probably like, well, let's just have some fun with this while I finish this off.
seems like in every MaxRando seed I play, Swamp still has swamp encounters in it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that threw me off about this randomizer.
Now it's like Shiner's gonna pick up his up stab.
Now, Great Palace. Great Palace wasn't so bad in this seed.
Yeah, it was pretty linear, so if, like, we had less life, it could have been pretty rough. But, like, because like I said earlier, you had to go through, like, 12 rooms to get to the first fork, so any game over you take, you gotta redo all those 12 rooms.
Now he's up.
Reflect.
Not what he was hoping for, so he's finally done. He's going to up an A and head back to start and work his way back over to the Great Palace. I think he's finally ready to go.
Unless he goes to the town that's got the is it Ruto? I think he has to realize that it can't be. I think he's got to realize that T-Bird can't be required.
Well, doesn't matter now. He's got his Thunder Spell.
He's got his Thunder Spell. I think with the time that TheCowness finished in, I think he's going to figure out that T-Bird can't be required.
And New Katsudo was kind of far out of the way, so I think it would be kind of unlikely for me to have found old Katsudo to get the spell, then clear out Maze Island, and then find New Katsudo, because there wouldn't really be anything else I was looking for besides the Thunder Spell. And there wouldn't really enough time to go into Great Palace, realize I needed it, and then leave to find it.
Well, nonetheless, he's got everything he needs now. He's going to go ahead and head in. He's making his way over to the Great Palace now to finally end this game.
And into Great Palace Shiner goes. Fried chicken number 1 in a waffle room. Chicken and waffles.
Sounds like breakfast to me.
Picking up, maybe he's gonna get, maybe he thinks he might get Magic 8 for a magic refill somewhere through this dungeon. Another chicken and waffles room.
Gotta stop that, man. You're making me hungry.
And Shiner making his way through the incredibly linear Great Palace. Goes straight down the Eon Drop.
You know, that's the right call to make, considering what TheCowness went through earlier.
Yeah, but it was an immediate dead end over there, so now he might spend his time wondering if he should have kept going to the right if he doesn't find Urklink quickly.
That's a valid point. Meanwhile, picks up that ferry on the way. Oh, Bluebird Night.
He killed the rope in this room here, so he didn't quickly notice that it was looping.
Yeah, but he's noticed it now.
And it's another chicken and waffles room.
Oh, look at that lag. My God.
The lag is real.
Also, we can confirm Shiner does know that he's lost. He just said, "Gonna finish the seed for you guys before I jump in." I only saw Cal finished 5 minutes ago.
So once again, if you've enjoyed this race, and why wouldn't you enjoy it, give these runners a follow.
Yeah, give TheCowness and ShinerCCC a follow on Twitch for this amazing race. And again, shout outs to our tracker, the Alan Heffley, our restreamer, Yanni Man, and of course myself and my co-commentator, DM Stewart 1981. And of course, make sure you follow all of our channels, Randomania 1 through 4. Keep up with all the races. Just to give you an idea, while we still got some time, we've got several races coming up just today alone. Tonight at 7, we have a Super Mario Land 2 randomizer race between Lori Bunningkins and Yoko21. At 7, we have a Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer weekly at 9. And then we also have another Zelda 2 randomizer race between Unos and Rose City Saint at 10.
That last one is going to be on RM2. It's going to be Randomania 2.
Yes, all the other races will be on Randomania 1, but that 10 o'clock will be at Randomania 2, so make sure you follow that as well. And of course, we've got more stuff coming up tomorrow as well. Super Mario Land 2, Zelda 2, Zelda 1. We have a Zelda 1 Battle Royale tomorrow at 4 on Randomania 1. So many races coming up in the next day or two, so you don't want to miss out on any of that. All those races are so much fun. And also, shout out to JTN2002 for the Twitch Prime sub. Much appreciated, my friend.
That is awesome.
Oh, and Shiner had to reset. He's back at the start of the palace, so this could be a minute.
Yeah, going left in Fairy Room turned out to be a massive dead end. He needed to get back to that loop he was in and go left in the room before the blue Bird Knight room.
I will say this is not an easy randomizer. If you have been enjoying this MaxRando, consider starting to race the or starting to run the Z2 Rando yourself.
Now we've got a weekly race that goes on Speed Gaming. I think Thursday nights at 11 Eastern, 11 p.m. But besides that, there's like races that pop up pretty much every day. It's been pretty active lately.
Well, gee, I wonder why. Maybe have something to do with the start of this tournament. Okay, so the ferry room, and we figured out that left from here is a dead end.
And yeah, that's where he's going. Maybe he didn't quite clear this way through and is going through and checking again.
He may also just be thinking that, like, if he goes down that elevator, he goes into the loop, but he may not realize that going left can get you out of the loop as well. Pretty sure he did full clear this direction though, so he might figure that out, and unfortunately he might end up up-Aing again.
Now, is MaxRando being played on full Great Palace or reduced Great Palace seeds?
It's shortened Great Palace, so up to like 25 to 50% of the rooms are removed from it. So there's probably not too much Great Palace hiding behind Thunderbird, but I would say there's a decent chance that he does end up fighting Thunderbird and exploring that area before he gets to Dark Lake. I know the alternative was a waffle room, but I forget what enemies were in it, but at that point you're looking at either going right through Thunderbird or right through a waffle room, so it'll be up to him to decide what to try.
Alright, so Shiner now working his way through here. Can he finally get himself back on the right track? Oh, nope, just another dead end. And he's gonna up-A again, unfortunately.
Alright, I think I gotta drop off, but thanks for the restream and the commentary and all that.
Not a problem. And again, congratulations on your win there, Countess. Have yourself a good one.
Thanks.
You gotta feel for Shiner right now. He has no idea where he needs to go. He is completely lost. All right, so Shiner now still working his way through. I'm sorry I haven't been talking much here, folks. There's really not much to say at this point. It's just a matter of Shiner finding the right path. He is just completely lost right now. And I feel for him right now. He is just not knowing where to go. All right. Looks like he's back towards the loop here. Hopefully he'll know which way to go this time. All right. Come on, Shiner. You can do it. That's it. Go down. No, go down. Don't go left. Oh, he's going to regret that decision. If he had gone down, he would have been over with this. And he is about to take... Well, you guys want your turkey? We're about to get it. We're taking on Thunderbird. All right, Shiner's got to be very careful. He's a little low on health here, but he's getting through. Couple more hits should do it. And he's got it. We've got turkey. And now he realizes he did all that for nothing. Oh, and he takes a death! Thankfully, he's got at least a life left, so he can start out with full health and magic, go into this room. He's almost there, folks. This race is almost over, finally. So there we go. Finally, Shiner facing off against Dark Link. Heading into the corner, and he's going for the knees. He's going to take him on head on here. almost there. Just there he goes! Ladies and gentlemen, Shiner has finished with an official time of 1:48.28. Get your GGs in chat, folks. And Shiner now joining us here in the channel. Shiner, GG there, my friend.
Hey, thanks.
So, what thoughts on that seed?
It wasn't that bad, but I just fell for my usual bad habits of killing absolutely everything. And I just decided that since I was going to have to do 5 crystals and ended up finding things that unlocked other things by the end, it's like, okay, I might as well go get Thunder just in case I need it. And it turned out I didn't need it. I got lost in Great Palace for quite a while there, but yeah. That was a fun seed. It was a little scary at first, because like, I saw the world map, was like, oh no, this map is really crying for boots. You have to go through this cave. Oh no, it's Jump Cave, and I have to go through in the dark, but Jump Cave was easy, and then I found the candle right after, and I'm sure TheCowness did as well.
They did. Yeah, they found pretty much everything you did. The only thing they didn't get that you did was Reflect, Thunder, and the Hammer.
Oh, where was the hammer again?
Maze Island.
Yeah, it was. Okay,
Yeah,
so I guess he did the same palaces as me then.
Yeah, they did the same palaces. He did Palace 6, but he just opted not to check the rest of Maze Island and just skipped getting the hammer.
Yeah, I figured I had most things that I would need to complete the seed. Especially a ton of experience, too. Drippers were great.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we were watching earlier. Countess had found a room with just a ton of blue iron knuckles as a dripper enemy and just grinded a ton of experience. So you had a pretty good grind strategy yourself, admittedly. But, yeah, you guys got a good amount of experience very quickly. That helped.
Yeah, it was alright. It was more than I needed. The practice seed I did last night had 1 heart container and like one block of health to start with, and I explored pretty much everywhere I could without like some bigger palace items and only found 1 by the end of it. So this seed certainly felt a lot easier compared to that, but I've got a long way to go if I finish 40 minutes behind.
It happened, but hey, you know what? You finished. You certainly did more than I would have done. I would have forfeited by that point, but that's just me. So props to you on that.
Thanks. I figured I'd just like finish strong and gave you guys a freestyle Dark Link at the end too, so for those who kept watching, I hope you enjoyed it.
Came close to dying there at the end. I was getting worried there until you used that light spell. I was like, ugh.
Well, good. If I rattled your bones, then that's all for the best, I think.
Needed some kind of trolliness, right? Because this seed wasn't giving that much. Anyway, we're going to go and close things out because you can see most of us already left already, unfortunately. But, dude, thank you again for an amazing race.
Hey, you're welcome. I'll see you guys in the losers bracket. I'll put on a good show for everyone again.
And we'll look forward to it, my friend. And make sure, again, you guys give a follow to both Shiner and, of course, TheCowness for their amazing race. Shout out to my co-commentator, DM Stewart, our restreamer, Yanni Man, our tracker, and the Alan Heffley. Whole bunch of great guys. Just show some love to everybody here. Of course, myself, the Shades AT. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Rock on!